like champagne. I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say. It's all about timing.
Hi guys, C Chronicles here. Welcome to Unscripted. If you're joining me here for the very first time, please do consider subscribing. I post vlogs and Western fragrance reviews. Now, if you're returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Welcome to Western Wednesdays. Today, we're going to be featuring the Jo Malones. I purchased a Discovery set, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the full sizes. From this Discovery set, I did eventually buy English Pear and Freesia in its full size, but I already had like two Jo Malone fragrances in my collection. So I'm going to start with telling you my thoughts, guys, on English Pear and Freesia. Let me just spray it on I can as well spray this one on my arm and then tell you my thoughts, but the rest I'm going to have to be spraying on the tester papers because I think I might actually run out of places to spray. Right now, English Pear and Freesia, guys, is a complex fruity floral. It has a musky undertone to it. I get a mix of that pear working together with a melon, a fragrance that then introduces some piercing florals, all tied in by a patchouli that can come across as heavy to some, right? And to some, it's going to come across as muffling that pear and the freesia, but I do not get that. I just get a patchouli that is able to tie this fragrance down and give it longevity. The reason why it was a no-brainer for me to purchase English Pear and Freesia from the Discovery set, guys, was it was one that held up on skin. I remember this thing was going for about 3-4 hours straight, and on the clothes it could do more, and this was off a little sample, remember, so I knew that it was going to be one of those Jo Malones with a decent holding power there. So yeah, the first one is English Pear and Freesia, a fragrance that I feel is unisex to the nose, and a fragrance with a massive sillage as well. This is one fragrance that can easily be room filling. The second fragrance, guys, is going to be elderflower and gooseberry. I have had this one in my collection for a long time, and there's very little of it left there, as you can see, right? So there's just enough to test for 1 or 2 videos and for reference in case I want to purchase another bottle, but this could be one of them that has been discontinued. I'm not sure. So what I can say about this one, guys, is elderflower and gooseberry is a fragrance that's going to come across as very sugared there. So expect a very sugar forward fragrance. To some people, that's going to be like the deal breaker, and to some people it's going to be the part where they really love this fragrance. So there is a lot of like a powdery sugar feel, powdery candy feel to this, which can come across as even icing sugar to an extent. I miss this, guys. There is like a lipsticky, waxy thing, you know, that this fragrance has, like a lipstick tone to it, but the lipstick doesn't come across as like plasticky or synthetic, because some lipstick can give off like a Barbie dolly type of scent. I don't get that. I just get like an expensive waxy type of feel of a lipstick coming from here. And the one thing that made me fall in love with elderflower and gooseberry, guys, is its venti chypre. This fragrance in its dry down is going to have that nostalgic effect, something that you get from Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds and Rubies, if I'm not mistaken, or to bring it closer to home, something that you get even from Lancome's Trésor, you know, like a vinty-esque type of feel that you're going to get from this fragrance, guys. So yes, it is the second one that I bought. This particular one I didn't buy off the sampler set, I just bought separately. So the third and last full-size bottle is going to be this one, vanilla and anise. I'm not sure whether it's the vanilla and anise that's been discontinued or it's this one, but one of the two I know has been discontinued. So if you cannot find these fragrances, then it is what it is, right? Now this is also out. Okay, it's on its own way out, so we're going to just spray a little bit of it and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts. Okay, so vanilla and anise is a fragrance that comes across to my nose as having an artificial vanilla. I don't get like a baking cookies type of vanilla, if you know what I mean, or like a vanilla that you would get from the vanilla 28, that sort of thing. It comes across as a synthetic in a way, type of vanilla. This also gives me unisex vibes, guys. In fact, most of the Jo Malone fragrances are gonna give you unisex vibes. If they don't, they're the sort that we will just pull either very masculine or very feminine. This is gourmandish like in nature because of course of that vanilla, although the vanilla in itself doesn't interpret as like a vanilla extract. If I have to bring it close to home, it just kind of feels like I don't know, like a synthesized type of vanilla. And of course there is that anise that is weighing in. They're giving this fragrance like a licorice undertone, if you will. And then the whole composition in its dry down has got like a tropical weight to it. I feel this is coming maybe from the Frangipani. It's going to immediately appeal to you as like a tropical scent, with that Frangipani, and I think maybe tuberose. There could be a tuberose in this, so it does have like that beachy vibe, if you know what I mean. So yeah, a nice one if you can get your hands on it. Very nice, actually nicer than the vanilla 28, because it does have that gourmand vanilla thing, but the gourmand vanilla thing is kind of wrapped up in like a creamy type of feel there, immediately becoming like a tropical scent, beautiful vanilla scent. So now let's move on to the actual sample set. This sample set is not new. This is a sample set that I bought, I'm gonna say maybe a year ago, so I'm pretty sure they do release them from time to time. Okay, so what I like particularly about how the Jo Malone sample sets come are packaged is they're very secure. Okay, they come in this very secure packaging where they don't move. These two that you can see at the back here came separately. Can't remember where I got the other one, but I know one came off the purchase of English Pay on Freesia. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to start with wood, sage, and sea salt. So it says wood, sage, and sea salt. I don't know if you can see that, right? So we're going to spray wood, sage, and sea salt on a tester paper, but you guys know this one. I think this one is the one that's the most favorite. That is a favorite for many. Okay, so this is built around that marine note, that aquatic note, that fresh note. You've got to love salty scents for you to appreciate wood, sage, and sea salt. This is a very good aquatic, marine, salty type of fragrance. Easy to like, easy to wear. A fragrance that can transition through any season, but particularly thrives, especially in summer. But it is just a dar when it comes to the performance. Okay, it kind of vibes in the same way as Gypsy Water. They're not the same fragrance, but I'm giving Gypsy Water as an example because that is one fragrance that tends to have like a disappearing act on you. So do not buy wood, sage, and sea salt if you're expecting beast performance, compliments, and stuff like that. Buy it to enjoy it yourself. The next one is going to be Myrrh and Tonka. Okay, Myrrh and Tonka. And the fragrance itself is this one. Okay, if you can see where it says Myrrh and Tonka there. Before I even spray this fragrance on this tester paper, I'm going to say this is one of the challenging ones that you may need to smell if you're a woman. Okay, so we're just going to give it a quick spray there. You may need to test this one if you're a woman, but if you're well versed with a lot of fragrances, you will probably do this fragrance. Okay, it just comes across as masculine. It gives a masculine tone offset there right from the start. Right now, the notes listed for this one are actually on the test on this little card. This one came on the card, so the notes are there, so it's going to be easy for me. It says top is lavender, heart is omu mbiri myrrh, and then the base is Tonka, and then it goes on to say rich hand harvested sap of the Namibian myrrh tree, noble, sensual, intoxicating. They're right on the intoxicating part. This is an intoxicating fragrance. This is a rich, thick fragrance. This is also one that is able to hold its own amongst the Jo Malones. For some of those people that label the Jo Malones for not lasting, I'm gonna say try Myrrh and Tonka. This is a long-lasting fragrance. It's got that smoky, aromatic, spicy, embery tone to it And that Tonka is on steroids. And I think it is that Tonka that is working overtime to ensure that this fragrance presents as thick, presents as rich, as concentrated. It kind of feels concentrated. Okay, so yeah, one that I would say, if you're a woman, test this. If you're a man, it could be an absolute love. So that is Myrrh and Tonka, guys. Let's get into the little ones that are actually secured in the box. So from the little ones here, I've got 5. But remember, I said I did buy English Pear and Freesia, so we're going to have to eliminate that one. This is the English Pear and Freesia. There's no need to talk about that one anymore because we have already spoken about it. Let me take Peony, Blush, and Suede. Okay, so this is Peony, Blush, and Suede. I know it's ridiculous, and I can understand some people not liking, you know, reviews of samples and stuff, but pockets are not the same, guys. I cannot walk into Jo Malone and purchase all these fragrances off my pocket. I can only work with what I have. So if you're a person who doesn't mind samples, we're good. If you don't like samples, then I don't know. Okay, so this is a Peony, Blush, and Suede. Okay, and this is nice. This is really nice. I get like a leather note here, right? It's giving me that unisex tone. This is also a decent performer because it also has that suede and leather, and those notes tend to tie a fragrance, making it quite sturdy there, making it interpret as not shy. That's what I can say. Okay, so it is that suede and leather that is tying into the florals there, because I do get like a floral tone again to this fragrance. It's one that gives a lot, like it's giving a lot of pages. Like at the moment, I want to say citrus, I want to say crisp, I want to say leathery, I want to say suede. So it kind of like is a fragrance that is not linear. Absolutely not linear, but do expect, of course, that suede, you're going to get that, and do expect the florals there. The florals are not doing the most, but they're holding on because they seem, you know, to have these like ingredients that are anchoring them, which could be even woods there. Amidst this florals, what ends up, or what's piercing, is like a jasmine there instead of the peony. It kind of has like a jasmine that is coming to the surface. Okay, so yeah, it is a nice fragrance overall, spicy there. One of the ones that I think when I tried this on my arm, if I can still remember, it gave me maybe 2 hours on my arm and maybe 5-6 hours on the clothes. This is definitely a no season type of fragrance. I can see this one, depending on the sprays, even holding up its own in winter, right? It is just a fragrance that, because of that suedey leather texture, has got some weight to it. Okay, so that is Peony, Blush, and Suede. The other one that we have here is Honey. Let's take Honeysuckle and Divana, right? I wish I had a better camera that would zoom this, and why I'm at pains to show you is just to make sure, guys, that we're on the same page. You know, I'm actually talking about what I have, right? Then just for me to show you a sample from a distance, and you have to guess that, oh yeah, she is now talking about Honeysuckle and Divana. Okay, so we're gonna spray that there. Okay, I get green. I don't think I actually wore this one because this scent is not speaking to me. It's like a new thing, you know, that I am introducing myself to. You know, it's not like one of the ones I remembered from this sampler set. It's definitely got white florals there and something that feels green, and that greenness is giving me a little bit of a metallic tone. Yeah, I think this one is the one that has moss, because I'm getting a piercing greenness here, but the piercing greenness is seemingly sharing the same limelight with the florals. It's not like it's just taking a green direction and that's it. There are some florals here, especially white florals, that seem to be piercing. This one has got a heady feel to it. This to me comes across as a fragrance that if you wore in the heat, because it says honeysuckle, this may potentially harass you. It's got that thing that you can feel that it's almost pushing it right there. But I think it's going to especially appeal to those people that like beast mode fragrances, and the greenness and the floralness has also got like a buttery thing going on there. So it's got like a buttery undertone, but not enough for me to call it a coconut or anything like that. But it's one of those pushy ones. Okay, so this honey, subtle, and Divana, to me for now, it's speaking more of like a winter and cooler weather type of fragrance than a summer fragrance. That's what I am getting, because it is quite heady there. Good news about it is it's probably going to last up to the next wash, because it is quite it is quite heavy. Okay, and then there were two, right? Out of the two, let's take Wild Bluebell. Okay, Wild Bluebell. I like how the Joe Malone testers are. They're very, very, secure. Because I've had this for a while, I'd have expected them to even have evaporated or stuff, but they seem to be like leak proof. So this is Wild Bluebell. Let me just spray it here and then tell you my thoughts. This is the other one that I liked. Okay, this gives me feminine vibe. It does least that bluebell or the bellflower, dewdrops, cloves, and some greens, and you do get the greens mostly, then you do get the bellflower, and then it has a peach and a musk and powder in it. So yeah, it is kind of that mix that interprets to the nose, in as much as it doesn't list watermelon, it interprets to the nose as though it is carrying a watermelon. So it's going to come across as a fragrance that's going to appeal to you if you like watermelon based fragrances. This watermelon is coming across as a fantasy note, or a combination of notes that kind of interpret as watermelony without necessarily having the actual watermelon as a note. Yeah, definitely. And the bluebell must be that a variant that you can barely smell, because with bluebells there's different variants. I cannot smell the bluebell in here, guys, but of course there is the bluebell, because they did mention that in here. Do expect like a citrusy, fresh, airy, watermelony, summery type of fragrance in this fragrance. This type of scent profile, according to my experience, usually doesn't do more than 5 hours, because it just is like a water-toned, aquatic, clean, fresh type of scent profile there. But it's going to appeal to anybody who loves to wear those watermelon-based fragrances, especially in summer. So yeah, this is Wild Bluebell, a clean, nice, polite and then the last one from these is going to be Lime, Basil, and Mandarin. Okay, so this is easy just by the name there, unless Joe Malone decided to throw us off. Just by the name there, let me get a tester. Just by the name there, I mean, you can expect a citrusy toned fragrance. So it does say Lime, Basil, and Mandarin. Okay, so how citrus is citrus? Okay. This is a loud citrus. This is a concentrated citrus. This is a citrus I was not expecting. It kind of leans cologne-y there, almost as if it's masculine, but it's a citrus that's living up to its promise. You know why I underrated this was, after Wild Bluebell, I was expecting, okay, this is going to be just another summer freshie. It does come across as a summer freshie, but it's thick. Okay, it's a green, aromatic, herbal, rich, thick presentation of a citrus. This is a citrus doing the most here. And this is one that has a potential to cross even to other seasons, despite it being a citrus, because it's loud. Okay, the thyme is the one that is adding like a herbal thing to the citrus, as well as the patchouli, and that patchouli is also just making sure that this one is busy. I mean, as in like it's a strong citrus. Okay, so this is another one that could potentially do 8 hours despite it being a citrus. Why I am giving you these longevities as guesswork is because, of course, we are working off testers. Perhaps I should give you a conclusion of which one I could potentially purchase if money was of no object. Let's see. Definitely not wood sage and sea salt. I love the scent, but it's very light, and I personally prefer the lightness of what I get in a gypsy water, because at least I get like a lemony thing that bounces back and forth. With wood sage and sea salt, it's just marine there with like a salty thing and can just vanish into thin air. So it's definitely not wood sage and sea salt. Which other one can we use? Can we talk about as a process of elimination? English pear and freesia I've got. It's definitely not myrrh and tonka, so we've eliminated 3. I'm not going to purchase the citrus one. The lime, basil and mandarin I'm not going to purchase, because I do have that clone of Le Frenchy, and the citrus in there is kind of piercing to that extent. So yeah, we're down to 3, and I think the one that I may purchase if money was no object would probably be maybe honeysuckle and divana. Okay, honeysuckle and divana, or peony, blush and suede. But I could have said peony, blush and suede is a male one. I don't know. So yeah, it would be between honeysuckle and divana, or peony, blush and suede. If money was no object, those are the ones that I would possibly want to add to my collection. So yeah, that's it, guys, for the Jo Malone Discovery Set. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Which ones are your favorites? Because she's always making fragrances, but I just wanted to work with what I have within my collection. Sea Chronicles is my name, and this has been Unscripted Western Wednesdays, Sampling Wednesdays. That is what this one was all about. We were sampling fragrances. Do check out my second channel, which is Sea Chronicles Talking Sense. On that channel, I talk only about Middle Eastern fragrances. While you're at it, turn on post notifications on both channels. That way you get to be notified anytime I post or upload on either. Like and share this video, guys. I love you as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.